Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my new beauty space equipped with its own echo. So I am aware, I apologize. However, I have ordered a mic for my camera that hopefully will make all of that go away. So just bear with me. I am going to be playing with lighting, playing with angles maybe, it takes me a while to figure out what works best, just like it did in my bedroom, but I am very happy to not have a bed behind me and also to not have to make that bed every single time I want to film. Things are going to change. I'm going to try and figure out what works best, what angles, what lights, all that, but leave anything you want to say down below. I appreciate input as long as it's nice input. And then if you guys want to see me change out this background, let me know. They're just curtains in a window, but I can always throw a backdrop if you guys want to see that. Or if you're like completely sick of seeing backdrops, let me know that too. You should, however, be able to see color a lot more true in this room. Granted, it is raining on my day off again. It's just a thing, I guess, but I do my swatches in this room. There's a whole lot more natural light, and even the tutorial I did on an eye look right before this, the colors were just a million times more true. So hopefully that works out better for me and for you. All right, now let's talk about what we actually came to talk about, and that is the Becca Soft Light Blurring Powder. This is brand new. I waited for this to go into stores because it looked kind of dark online. It's called Golden Hour. It's a translucent powder, but it does have color to it, so I was a little bit concerned that it was going to be too dark for me. This powder retails for $38 and it has 10 grams of product in here and in one of the most beautiful cases they could have possibly come up with. I'm going to read some of the claims off of the Sephora website. It says it's a translucent loose setting powder that acts as a veil to blur imperfections, set makeup with a subtle radiance, and add dimension while eliminating shine for a natural, perfected finish. Now what I will say is if you are looking for this to blur pores or bake, I don't think this is the powder for you. You could bake with this if you are medium skin tone to even darker, as long as you don't mind radiance, because this is not a matte powder by any means. Yes, it's going to dull down shine as in oil, but it adds radiance at the same time. This will actually accentuate your pores. If you don't want that, then don't do it. If you want to use this, how I suggest using it is to do the buffing technique. I would use something like the Cover FX powder, set your makeup, and then use this to go over top to add the radiance and blur all your lines from your blush, contour, bronzer, all that, and make it look much more seamless and beautiful. However, if you are looking for something to blur your pores, this is not going to be it. This is also formulated without sulfates, parabens, and that other P word, phthalates. I think that's how you say it. If you don't, just correct me down below. It's cool. But I am going to go ahead and just put this powder to the test. So I'm going to pop this on, and I'm going to test it up against my Sisley powder. So there is a radiance to this powder, just like there is to the Sisley. So I want you guys to see the difference. So if you want to see how this ends up going on the skin, just keep watching. Okay, so there's no powder on my face other than right in the triangle underneath my eyes and center of the face, like I normally do with my Hourglass diffused light. On one side of my face, I'm going to use my Sisley powder, and the reason why I'm using this one to set is because it's closer in color to the Becca one, and then I'm going to set the other side with the Becca. So on this side, I'm going to do the Becca. We'll do the Becca. Let's see if you guys can kind of see. So the color is pretty similar. And I'm going to use my Chanel contour powder brush. This side is going to be the Becca. And this side will be the Sisley powder. Ooh, I'm getting it everywhere. Alright, so let me have a little look-see at this. They look very similar. Very, very similar. Okay. I'm going to put on my contour and my blush, and then we're going to buff. So I used my Film Star Bronzing Glow from Charlotte Tilbury, and now I'm going to use my La Mer, the powder brush. Obsessed with this thing. And I don't know if I should like switch them up or not. Okay, so what I'm going to do and the reason for it. I never buff and set my face with the same powder. So what I'm going to do is buff on this side with the Becca and buff on this side with the Sisley, so they're swapped. That way I can tell you if it buffs well, or, you know, sometimes it's just too much. I don't know how to explain it, but like I always set my face with La Mer and I always buff with the Sisley. It's just my thing. So we're going to try it. So I've got the Becca and I'm going to buff with the Becca. And now the Sisley. And this might seem like it's really going everywhere, but I traveled with it, so it's all on the top of this, whereas normally I dump it over onto my brush, but that's a little out of whack right now. Okay, so I feel like my pores are accentuated on this side, and I think it's because I set with that powder. I'll finish my makeup and do my final thoughts. All right, guys, my final thoughts on this powder. I think this is a great option for those of you who want to buff at the end of your makeup and you don't want to spend $95 on a powder, because the Sisley powder is $95 and the La Mer one is $95 as well. So those are the only two that I suggest that I personally like that have that radiance to it. So this is a great, more affordable option for that. I definitely think you can set your makeup with this as well, as long as you're not concerned about any texture on your skin or pores. If you are, I would use something a little bit more matte, or even, I use the La Mer powder to set and then I use the Sisley to buff. So just kind of test them out and play with them. But if you're looking for a radiant powder, this one is absolutely beautiful, but it's not super blurring for your pores. I'm gonna quit saying that because I think you guys understand. If you guys have gotten your hands on this powder, please let me know what you think down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.